This would be a mix of all three different types of videos we make. This would be like a funny one. We'll have some funny stuff happening here. It'll also be a sort of a review for COP. And the third thing that we will be talking about today is why Mythic Plus has been fun. And I think, honestly, it's a greater discussion here about the timers. Before we even start, I want your opinions on this. Please start thinking about it, even if you don't give your opinions right now. How do you feel about the timers in season 3? I want to talk about this because I feel like this is very different than any other season we've ever had. Maybe it's some kind of weird like pseudo thing going on. I don't think so though, but I'm pretty sure these timers are too easy for the key levels that they have. Am I wrong about that? I don't know. Like, I'm not sure how to prove this, but I think nobody's gonna really disagree with me, right? You know, this dungeon, a Tall Desire. Now this is only a 19. This one really shows a lot of the truth of it. Now there's a lot of dungeons like that, right? That's kind of the other weird part is feels like out of the 8 dungeons, 6 of them are super lenient. Really, you could even maybe say 7 of them. I think really the only one that's truly out of whack is Rise. Now Throne is out of whack in for a few reasons. It's too much time spent traversing parts of the dungeon. There's just too much that can't be pulled together. But if those things were solved, I do think that timer is actually kind of lenient too. It's just, and then the fact that you always go over count without a difficult skip. If those 3 things were solved, that dungeon would probably be in the boat of the other ones. So you really have this kind of weird situation here where you're basically like almost every dungeon you have the affordability to have like 20 plus stats and still upgrade it. You hear this constantly in my chat. Oh, I can't believe we just upgraded X key. We had 26 deaths. Do it all the time. Like even me playing like, oh my God, we have 40 deaths. What the? It's like, it's wild. I made a video on this. Necrotic Wake. We had a key with 30 deaths and we upgraded it back in Shadowlands. That key was an absurd outlier at the time. Absurd outlier. 30 deaths should not have even really been possible. Still was possible. Why are we talking about this? Because people still play the game like there's not the ability to have 30 deaths and upgrade keys. It's really freaking weird. Like, I don't know what needs to change more than this because you still see people all the time leave after like a few deaths early on in keys. We've talked a ton about leaving and that mentality, but it's just really silly now, right? Like, I've tried to convince people that even if it is out of time, you should stay because you'll be learning and then the next run you'll play better. I've tried to convince people that there might be times when, other people might want you to stay. So socially, you should just be the bigger person. And even if you feel like you shouldn't stay, just ask and see if people want to continue and then just be a normal human being and do what the 4 other people want you to do. There's so many different things I brought up, right? But we're talking about people who are actually just leaving upgradable keys. And cops submitted a few of them. No, this is not really that situation here, but it's like, well, I'm telling you, right? If you leave because a couple deaths happen in a Tall Desire, I mean, you're just bad, right? Like there's not really any way to qualify any statement other than just saying you're very impatient, not dedicated to the success of the group you joined. And to me, that makes you a bad player. Like, that's all I can really say about the topic. Obviously, people try to defend their own actions on this front all the time. But if you're entering a key and your goal is not to try to upgrade it, then please stop pugging, because that's effectively what that person is doing. Like, if you're going to leave a key after 5 deaths in an atoll, then you basically are proving to everybody else that you just don't care about upgrading this key. You're more there for your ego, basically proving that they don't really care about upgrading keys. They only care about, their own ego and playing with people that soothe their own ego. But you would think the timer situation is making it more lenient. You would think it wouldn't be happening still. Is this maybe Blizzard's first experiment in how to deal with this potential issue of people leaving keys? I think it may be. I really do. Well, what you may not have been thinking about, though, is the run. So far we got a bit of a strange thing going on here. Keep talking about other topics for now, but yeah, we got you might have realized we've done some weird stuff. So this boss and this dungeon in general has very few pitfalls. For as much as we could talk about routes, I do think there's a couple dungeons that are just frankly not very well made this season. I would say that has contributed to people's enjoyment of it, the fun of it, but that is not really what Blizzard would want. Or is it at this point? I don't even, I would have said this pretty securely in the past, but now it's to the point where I'm not even sure. Maybe they don't want all 8 dungeons to be the same difficulty, because this is now 3 seasons in a row where we have had 2 dungeons wildly different from each other. Right now, though, it's almost like 6 and 2. I don't know if you guys like that part, if you think that's proper. I'm gonna tell you right though, like, I have 20 Rise as my best Rise. And we got 25s and other keys. So mostly just because I haven't done like 21s and 22s of it much. But it's kind of silly how that key is just not really coming together. But yeah, I think that really Atoll, you could say Waycrest, Blackrook are of a similar ilk, and fall especially. Those four are really just way, way, way too easy. It's hard to differentiate the difficulty of a dungeon from actual I got hit hard versus the timer was a problem. There is a difference there, and everybody's going to care about that difference a different amount. You may care more about the ability to do a key without any deaths, or you may not care about that at all. All you care about is upgrading the key. If I had a key that had 0 deaths, I'd be like, that's a very easy key. Even if it was not in time, I would say that's an easy key. Whereas if you have a key with 30 deaths and you still upgrade it, I would be like, that was a hard key. We just still upgraded it, you know? Whether or not Blizzard has any structure on how they differentiate that, I don't know. It's probably, you know, as much as I'd like to say they're in control of all this, there's probably less control on that front than there should be. Ring does not work on that mechanic, by the way, Cup. You cannot interrupt those things by gripping them, moving them at all. The only thing you can do is stopping them physically. So stuns or perhaps paralyze, that is the only thing that will work to stop those mobs from channeling that shield, which definitely is something that's needed. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think this dungeon really is a huge, huge, huge outlier. It might be the easiest dungeon ever. Like they buffed the last boss, and that fight is now the only real difficulty. Like it's to the point where really nothing else matters. I don't know where the first key level would be in that dungeon where something other than like there's some difficulty of the trash on fortified. I'll give you that. But let's just say like a tyrannical weak. Will there ever be another difficult part in the dungeon other than the last boss? What key level would that be? I don't know what the answer is. I think 0. So that's probably not good. I don't know. This is a very strange dungeon. And in terms of the actual difficulty of it, I think it's like I said, it's not just this one either. Okay. So anyway, I think it's coming up here. We haven't fought Razan yet. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody do this before in my life, but I don't know. Have you guys ever seen this? This is funny to me. It doesn't really matter, but it's just one of those things that it's like, I've never seen anybody do this. The dude basically went in a giant circle, right? It's kind of actually kind of like charming. Like, oh, we're back. We're back at the start. Let's go see Razan. See what everybody. The reason you want to do Razan first is because he's standing here waiting for you. This right here is why you don't want to do Razan anything but first. Now they get lucky. He's in a fine spot there. But sometimes he's all the way on the other side of the room. I've never fought him over there. I guess it's probably just one big parallel, like everything is mirrored on both sides. But this is definitely, I think fighting him right by the stairs there is very nice. And especially now with the like extra shadow melding and stuff, it's like really a very, very easy encounter. Now you want to miss that. I don't know what the fuck that guy was doing. Let's go ahead and rewatch that. No idea what that guy was doing. This is so bizarre, dude. Watch the paladin. So kind of just tanking him out, really kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it's all good. You can always line of sight this no matter where you are. Look at this. You got to really slow this down. Watch this again here. So I think is this the tank? It must be because they have a circle on their head, right? So that's always, yeah, it's Sister Bubble. That's the tank. Okay, watch this. Runs out into the middle of nowhere. Just stands still. Turns the back and just stands there. What the fuck was that? What was that? Why did you do that? Don't do that. Look at that. This is so funny. Just runs out. It's like, I'm here. Come and find me. And then just doesn't run from the pursuit. This other guy just getting Jurassic Parked. His raptor is just going on a fucking feeding spree. Oh, that's funny to me. So like that just cracked me up when I saw that. Fucking pounded horse just gets on the horse and just turns around and like, you ain't gonna catch me, you stupid. Oh shit. So now what are we gonna do? We're gonna go down here again. Razan's gleaming eyes on us right now. It's rare to wipe to Razan, but I've been fighting groups that have been doing it, and this might be the new Court of Stars, guys. Like this might be the new funny, crazy shit that really only happens in like the worst of groups. So we're gonna just do the same thing. We're just gonna fight him in kind of over here, which again, it's really not like this is fine. This is not a problem. So yeah, we're gonna continue to just kind of fight. We're gonna have fear here, line of sighting the fear. No problem whatsoever. Easy mode. It looks a little more dangerous than it is, but that recess there is huge. All right, pursuit. Here it comes. This one's going to go down. No problem. There's not really going to be any issues here, surely. Okay. Well, we're taking it that way. So we're going to run over some raptors again. I'm taking it all the way over there. That's far. That person's really far away from the boss right now. Oh, it's cutting through a lot of raptors. So yeah, the problem with this whole tanking it this way is you run through raptors. The other ways are like flat parallel angles. Kind of in panic mode here. We got we got raptors all over the place. This time we actually get feared because the tank just kind of didn't really get him far enough, I guess. And the raptors are just gonna look at the raptors. Oh, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Even in the chat. Oof, that's a lot of raptors. So that's gonna be a wipe. Oh, actually, I mean, I guess we battle as the tank. I guess we're all right here. We're battle as the healer. Not a problem. Rosana at 50%. He's going down like Titanic, man. This is a fortified week, right? Or is it? Yeah, it's 4. Oh, okay. Tank's dead. Tank didn't. What happened there? Tank didn't run from the fear. Is that what happened there? This ain't. Yeah, this ain't a fight we want to have 4. Right? I think this person just dies. They do get feared. So that's ultimately the killing blow. Now, this boss can actually be done without a tank. It's a lot easier than you might think, but it requires serious defensives for the bleed. But this ain't going to be it. This ain't going to be the run. This guy runs out and resets it. So I guess that's not really a surprising choice on his part. So that's... Oh. What was that now? Feared... Oh, it's because he aggroed a skyscraper while doing that. Yeah, he ran out to the other side. So there's actually 2 entrances to Razan's room. The right is the one that most people go down, but then you can go down the left. There's actually 2 skyscrapers there. We used to pull these to try to get better count in season 4 of BFA. So, you know, they actually upgrade this key, dude. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, I think maybe even perhaps funnier is that now it looks like they might just abandon the boss. Like, for a second there, I was like, no, we can't fight this boss. It's like, what is even going on right now? So yet again, multiple raptors. You really don't want to have the raptors. Like, this is why the fight is tanked where it's tanked, so you don't have to deal with the raptors. The raptors cause absolute chaos on the fight, and when the boss is kited and tanked in this way, then you just have more and more spawn. And yeah, tank is definitely not ready for these raptors. Barely surviving, just hanging on, but that bleed down like the Titanic. So that is the 3rd wipe. Cop's trying to run underneath the stairs. That ain't an option. Run away. No, go up the stairs, Cop. No, don't go that way. He doesn't know you can reset it, which is weird considering they just literally just reset it. 3 wipes to Razan now. 12 minutes left on the timer, guys. The shaman says run along the side, not the front or back, which is good advice on paper, but it's because of the way it's being tanked. It's not really an option. Has to be tanked here. This is the place. Tank it there, then there's no raptors. Don't stand it on top of a raptor on the pole. No worries. Just 1. Not 6 like before. More evidence for the season being easy. Just come in and tank it. Don't worry about it. Don't go this way. This is the wrong fucking direction. Why do people keep running this direction? The healer's dead again. Oh no, they're down again. They're running the wrong way again, says Jimbo. Cop's about to get feared again. All right, boss just kind of in the middle of nowhere. Pursuit's now on Cop. He's not gonna get away from him. He's gonna get clomped, bro. He's gonna get eaten. This is a fucking mess. This is the new Court of Stars, right? This is a great piece of footage. I have an even better piece of footage for Razan in the future. I'm saving that one, dude. That's for the end of the season. Stay fucking tuned, man, because it gets even better. But no, okay. We could still kill the boss. I think we're good, right? Boss is at 25%. I guess they lusted this time, maybe. Hob's gonna stay down. No battle res, 20%, 8 million. It's going down like the Titanic. Line of sight, can't really see, but they're going to line of sight there. No, oh, just kidding. The fucking Sack Star has been feared again, but he's not the tank, so it's fine. Tanking it that way again across all the bones. Just come back and forth, guys. Big pro strats here, in case somehow you've never... This is why you go Razan first. It's so easy. You stand here, you go one side, you come back. That's it. It's easiest fight in the game. It really is the easiest fight in the game. But they're going to go ahead and kill it after 4 attempts. And we now have, ladies and gentlemen, less than 9 minutes for 2 bosses. Let's see the rest of this run. This is a crazy run. And it is the perfect backdrop for the conversation about timers. Is the perfect conversation for ease, like difficulty of the content. Is it working well? Is this the right difficulty? Do you think this is the right difficulty? I see people all the time talk about shouldn't be learning keys in a 19. Well, how could you not? I mean, what would you have to do worse in here to not You know what I mean? Blizzard isn't punishing these people. I don't think people fully understand that. They expect these people to punish themselves. Like if you're fucking Jim Harbaugh, bro, like nobody's gonna do that in WoW. Nobody's gonna put sanctions on themselves. Oh, I died in a Mythic Plus. I won't do a key now. I'll go down a level. No, people aren't going to play the game that way, dude. Blizzard is not punishing these people. They're saying you succeeded. Like if you upgrade the key, that means you won, right? That's what most people seem to think is success in Mythic Plus, and Blizzard's giving it to you. So like this key is an upgraded keystone. It's successful. So how, you know what I mean? Like who's at fault here? Is it Blizzard? I don't like, do you seriously expect this tank to go like self-impose sanctions on themselves for being a bad boy or something like it's just not going to happen. Doesn't realize that both Priestess is aggro. So that one's just out there running around smacking this Ellie Shaman. By the way, Elemental Shaman. Don't see a lot of Ellie Shamans. The problem with pulling this trash is it also does transfusion. Where's Cop going? It also does transfusion. Now, somehow nobody actually gets baited into going into a blood puddle while the ad's doing transfusion. But you see up the ad's just fucking... The ad's just up there at the altar. Loa, grant me strength. I can only suck the energy from these fools for so long. That just cracks me up too. But no, that's actually not... I would not recommend pulling that trash with the boss. But they're good on count now, right? I think they maybe were over count, and maybe that's what happened there, because they pulled those two star screamers or whatever those birds are. But yeah, this is actually one of the easiest fights timer wise. Like this is probably the quickest fight in the game, right? It actually doesn't get any shorter, I don't think, right? That was a 1 minute and 40-second kill. No bloodlust. It's pretty much always that. It's pretty. I think I actually wonder that too. Does your damage matter on that fight? Do you do enough damage to cut off a phase of that fight, like a blood siphon phase? But like on a 25, does your damage matter, or is it literally just wait until that phase and it does 25%? I'm pretty sure it does like 25%. Okay, guess who's dead? Died to these things. Not a big deal, but it's getting a little tight now. 27 minutes out of 30 here. Died to spiders doesn't even matter. Res, let's get it done. Stack them up. You could definitely leg sweep them. Great choice, Cop. Get back in there, fucking punch that boss, man. Fist of Fury, maybe hit him with an elbow, just not 6 to 9. You'll get, or 9 to 9, 12, whatever that's called. That's something else, 6 to 9. That's illegal. You'll get disqualified for that. That was a bad UFC joke I tried to make, but I fucked my own joke up. Priest telling the tank to move, probably good tip considering Razan. We're going to go ahead and stack these up yet again. Another great monk fight, Ring of Peace. That mob just got deleted, literally, because of Touch of Death. But yeah, Ring of Peace, really good for those two. Spiders on deck. We're going to just eat them. No problem. That's why I like clearing the spiders. Tank, going to clear the spiders. Love clearing the spiders at tank. I really think this is a good choice. People kind of were laughing at me for a little bit there. But if there's no spiders, how can a melee DPS run into one and get one shot, right? Like, that's my thought. If there are none, then you can't get killed by them. Like this. Look at this. Oh, look at that fucking ninjutsu Cop pulling out. I told you, dude, just don't 12 to 9 them. You're 12 to 6. I keep fucking the joke up. I'm 29-15 right now. One more set of spiders. One more set of soul rends coming out. Just clear them out. Get them out here. Don't think we've seen Ring. That Paladin, Saxtar, he's throwing it as much as he possibly can this dungeon. But it just doesn't matter, dude. Dungeon's too fucking easy. Cop said, don't fucking leave any keys, dude. They only actually had 14 deaths. So that's maybe a little bit kind of counter to my original topic. There wasn't 40 deaths here. And that matters. It might look bad when you're wiping the Razan 4 times over and over again. This is less deaths than you might have thought. And every time you die, you lose time. That's probably the counterpoint to it. You guys make that. Let me know what you think about timers. Let me know what you think about the season's fun ability. Let me know if you think this is too easy. Let me know if you had a laugh. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.